10 seconds.
Hello guys, welcome back to another draft analysis. I'm Ace, and right now we're into EG versus Newbee, the second series of today. This should be a pretty epic series. The last one was really good. SG Esports versus King Gaming. I wouldn't say both teams are the best, but they didn't play exceptionally well, but they are at a very similar skill level, and that's why the game was so epic. And yeah, the drafts were pretty interesting as well. Okay, anyway, moving on to this. EG having first pick now. The bans are pretty straightforward. Jakiro Prophet as well as Nyx Venom. And Newbee goes for the first. EG goes for the first pick, Next Stalker. Newbee respawn with Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit is is one of Kaka's hero. I think he's best on heroes like Earth Spirit as well as Senking. He played an exceptional Senking yesterday. In game 1 he played Earthshaker, which didn't do anything. I would say his impact in the early game was really lackluster, but in the second game he played the Sand King and he was doing so much. He created a lot of space. I think he baited 3 people to try and kill him and wasted like a good minute of their time, and he even got away. And in the team fights he was just playing so well. He made use of Sandstorm and Force Staff as well as his stuns very well. And his Earth Spirit he played I think in game 3, and he also played it pretty well. It's probably his top 3 hero right now, Earth Spirit. Newbee, they instantly go for the Bloodseeker. A very strong early mid game fighting kind of hero, where I think they can play it on both Mugi as well as SCCC. So this is a versatile opening core pick for them. Usually you don't want to pick your core early, but this is fine because they can still play around which lane he goes to.
10 seconds remaining.
EG, they immediately respond with Monkey King.
5 seconds remaining. Turn to ban.
I think they will want to put this Monkey King in the same lane against this Bloodseeker. Monkey King is probably one of the only few melee core heroes that can do very well against a Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker relies a lot on his last hitting to get back health, and that's why he's pretty. He doesn't really care about harassment coming in from his opposing lane. So meaning like if he's up against a puck right clicks him, he just gains back life from his spells. And Monkey King is different in a sense that you don't want a Monkey King to right click you, because every time he right clicks you, he's getting his Jingu Mastery stacks, and once he hit 4, there's no way you're going to trade with him. He can pretty much zone you out just because of that. As a result, Monkey King is really one of the only laner that is very strong against Bloodseeker in my opinion. And yeah, so EG they instantly pick up this NK as a response to the Bloodseeker. Moving on to the second phase, Newbee banned away the Lone Druid targeting towards Arteezy. I think a lot of teams has been banning this Lone Druid in the second phase against EG just because of how good Arteezy has been playing it. As well as they also banned the Bat Rider targeting towards Universe. Currently, I believe this Monkey King is going to be a core, so it can be played on Sumail. Sumail, I think he played once in a competitive game recently, and although he mentioned in the interview after that he didn't really play that hero much, but he was dominating on that game. So yeah, Sumail is pretty good at this game. EG, they ban away Enchantress. Newbee likes to play this Enchantress on the off lane on KP. I don't really think they play it on a position 4 much or ever, because I don't remember Kaka playing it, and I don't think Faith plays it that well. They only play on KP usually. And they also ban the Death Prophet, Death Prophet being one of the Chinese special in the mid lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so Newbee here, they're probably going to pick up a position 5. I mentioned it a lot of time. It's the most open pick that you have. Like you just want to pick it up here, not give up too much information on a draft. It's just the safest pick right here, position 5. Let it go for the Lich, a very strong hero. Can win your lanes. Newbee's laning now is really strong. Bloodseeker and Lich, really strong lanes. Esprit with the roam. EG as well though, as I mentioned, the Monkey King can contest the Bloodseeker. That's the lane they want, and that's the lane that Newbee will want to avoid.
5 seconds remaining.
And Newbee having the last pick, they can they will know which lane this Monkey King is going and can draft accordingly.
Newbee's
Whether they want to put
turn
this
to
Platsica
pick.
mid or whether they want to put this Platsica off lane. Sorry, safe lane. Yeah, so they can play around with it. That's the advantage of them having the last pick here. EG, they go back for the Bane. Probably gonna be Fear playing it. I don't see Universe playing an offlane Bane
10
again.
seconds
Not unless they have a
remaining.
draw.
5 seconds
But
remaining.
draw wouldn't be too good in this scenario since they already have 2 melees right from the start. I consider Monkey King a melee because he doesn't benefit from draw aura. Okay, so Newbee, they can either go for... They'll probably go for KP's hero because they want to keep the option of this Bloodseeker open. They like to pick like Tidehunter, Underlord, this kind of heroes for KP. I think currently they lack a team fight kind of lockdown slash ultimate kind of hero. Yeah, so they go for this Sensor. He has the blink initiating kind of stun, blink storm, as well as his ultimate is some form of team fight. It contributes to some form of team fight. And Sensor's ultimate is also very good against Monkey King's ultimate. Like the problem of Monkey King's ultimate is you don't want to be inside it and you want to get out of it as quickly as possible. And Stampede just lets you do that. So once if like any of your heroes are caught inside Monkey King's ultimate, you just Stampede and everyone just runs out of it. So that's a very good answer, I would say. Centaur is also a really tanky off lane that can contest up against a Bane that is trying to zone him out. He's not afraid of the Bane trading against him. He's really tanky. And EG, they go for this Universe partner, a hero that they played quite a bit in, I can't remember, was it Star Ladder or PGL? I can't remember which one they attended, and Universe had one game on partner where he did so much. This game isn't the best partner game though. Usually as a partner you want your opponent, it's best when your opponent doesn't have any heroes to close you down. So you can do whatever you want from the back. But in this game, Newbee has all the tools to close him down. They have a Bloodseeker running him down, Earth Spirit can close him down, and Centaur can close him down as well. It might not be the best partner game. The good thing going for him is Decrepify against Bloodseeker, it's pretty strong. But you still have Chain Frost, Earth Spirit spells, and everything going your way after that.
10 seconds remaining.
Not the best pick, I would say, but maybe they are comfortable with it.
5 seconds
Newbee,
remaining.
they go for the they ban out the puck, targeting towards Sumail. And EG, what would they ban here? I got a feeling that EG will pick a core that both RTZ or Sumail can play in the safe lane. And then they'll decide whether they want to put this Monkey King mid or Monkey King safe lane depending on what Newbee picks last. Because if they commit to a pick for RTZ and then Monkey King is definitely going mid, then Newbee can just immediately pick a very strong mid laner against Monkey King. Something like I actually don't know if there's a specific hero that is really very strong against Monkey King right now. I can't think of any. Maybe something like a Razor or Viper.
Turn to pick.
So anyway, EG, they ban away the Mirana, targeting towards SEC C0, expecting this Bloodseeker to be in the safe lane. So right now what were they? I think this is gonna be
10 seconds remaining.
Chaos Knight?
5 seconds remaining.
Chaos Knight wouldn't be too bad. But that doesn't follow what I mentioned just now on the flexible lanes. Sylvan wouldn't be good because of Bloodseeker.
Newbee's turn to pick.
We go for the Queen of Pain for Sumail. So this Monkey King is definitely going to be RTZ playing it. Okay, so what EG might do now, they might go aggressive try with the Monkey King Night Stalker Bane, a very strong try lane. Pugnas, they'll put the Pugna solo 1v1 against the Centaur, which is a very favorable matchup for the Pugna. And then Queen of Pain will most likely win his lane as well. Or at least break even. Sumail rarely loses his lane, I believe. He's a really strong mid laner. Probably one of the best in the world. Okay, so down to the last pick, 20 seconds left for Newbee. They can consider putting... I think Bloodseeker can lane decently well against Queen of Pain just because of his lifesteal. So they can consider picking a very strong position 1 that can fight against an aggressive tri-lane.
Choose your hero.
Okay, instead they're sticking with Bloodseeker on Mugi, safe lane, and SCCC on the mid lane against the Queen of Pain. I really think EG should go aggressive try with the 3 heroes I mentioned. Fear on the Bane, Crit on the Night Stalker, as well as Artesian the Monkey King. I definitely feel they can pressure this Bloodseeker a lot. Pagna 1v1 the Centaur is a really good lane for him. If that's the case, their laning they'll come out quite well. And I'm noticing a problem for EG's lineup. I mentioned that EG always have this problem of having insufficient lockdown. And this game, they have a lot of slows, but lockdown they only have 2. Fate's Grip as well as Monkey King Stun, which is very short. The heroes on Newbee side are pretty fast, especially with like Stampede and Earth Spirit Roll and such stuff. They might not be able to catch the heroes and lock them down. That's one worry I have going for EG. But in terms of their overall draft and game plan, I actually really like what they have right now.
Prepare for battle.
Newbee has a very tanky lineup though, like with Ice Armor on top of DK, Bloodseeker as well as Centaur. They are extremely tanky, and it really requires this tankiness is going to make the Monkey King's impact a bit lackluster in terms of his damage in the team fight because of all the high armor. But it's going to rely on the Queen of Pain as well as the Pagna to dish out the magical damage. I think the draft is pretty even. I might slightly favor it towards Newbee, but just very slightly, just because of how tanky their lineup is, and a slight lack of lockdown on the side of EG. But if EG can lane the way that I mentioned and snowball their laning phase, they will have a pretty good shot as well. And as it looks like, they're actually really going to do that, but they're going to pressure Bloodseeker, which is good. That's exactly what I think they should be doing. Okay, that's all for Game 1's draft analysis. I hope you guys like it, and please subscribe or like the video. Thank you.